Hey there, everyone. I want to talk to you about reading fluency in this video. Okay, so reading fluency is really important. It will help you improve your reading in a new language or any language. Reading, though, is not just about fluency. Reading, as you probably know, or I hope you know, is about bringing past experiences to what you're reading and understanding a topic. Reading is questioning, predicting, recognizing when you don't understand something while you're reading it. Reading is making sure you understand after you've read something, trying to summarize what you read or filling out some sort of chart or something like that to show that you understood. As someone who's learning a new language, when you're reading, it's also about vocabulary recognition. Well, and for native speakers of the language as well. New words, vocabulary, grammar, and also the stress, the rhythm, and the intonation, the patterns, right, of what you're reading. So let's talk about how fluency is part of all that, okay? So first of all, fluency really is just being able to read something comfortably without having to pause, without having to stop, without not knowing what you're reading, okay? So reading fluently means that you recognize about 95% of what you're reading. So if you have 100 words on a page, you understand 95 of those words, 95% comprehension rate in order to really focus on reading fluently where you don't pause, you don't stop, and you recognize all the words. You know them in your head. If you're reading silently, you know what they mean. You can even pronounce them. And also it means bringing in the life of what you're reading, like expression and emotion and things like that, okay? That is different from reading something, just reading it, like automatically, okay? Because I can read this whole page and then finish and go, wait a minute, what did I just read? I was thinking about something else. Don't you do that? You probably do it, right? All the time. Or you go from one place to the next and you're like, wait, how did I get there? Which way did I go? I don't even remember how I got here. That's called automaticity, okay? And that's a great thing, to be automatic with language and just be able to say what you want to say and pronounce it and read and recognize. But that's different from being able to understand it, okay? So when we're talking about fluency, we're talking about reading fluently, smoothly, without stopping, but also understanding what we're reading. Understanding, okay? So super important. You can practice your fluency at any level of the language learning process. So if you're a beginner, you can practice beginning fluency. If you're intermediate, if you're advanced, wherever you are, you can practice this. It's going to help you get better at reading. It's very important to understand when you're trying to learn how to read in a new language, it is not a good idea or recommended to read at an advanced level in that language if you aren't ready for that, okay? There's research, there's all kinds of information about this. You can look it up. It's called comprehensible input. There's a lot more around all this. It even happens in a person's first language when they're learning how to read, right? We do it in steps. We don't just jump to the highest level. And people say, yeah, but that's where you need to be. Yeah, that's where we're going to get. We're going to go step by step. And we're not going to just jump. Because when you just jump, first off, you don't understand what you're reading. So you're not motivated. You lose your motivation. You get discouraged. And you're not able to build off of the prior knowledge about grammar, vocabulary, things like that, if you just jump. Okay, so in order to build your knowledge, vocabulary knowledge, grammar knowledge, spelling, you need to build off of it. And that takes time, a lot of time. So you want to read at the level you're at, or maybe one level a little bit above where you're at. If you're trying to learn, if you're reading at where you're at, your level, if what you're reading is so you understand 100% of it, then you may not be learning anything new, so you want to go up one, right? If it's too low, you mean you're just too fast, you're not learning, right? You want to go up a little bit higher so that there's a few new words, new structures, new spelling, things like that. But how do you get there? How do you figure that out? Okay, so I have a great website called that I found it. There's a lot of great places and books and things like that, but this one's called Breaking News English. There's 7 different reading levels, okay, in it, and it's basically news around the world that's happening now, new articles every day that these writers take and they simplify the language and the vocabulary in these articles for adults learning English. Okay, so it's adult information like news around the world. It's not kid stuff, but it's simplified for your level. So for example, like let's see what's gone today. Okay, farmer accidentally moves Belgium-France border. Okay, I'm not interested in that. Okay, woman gives birth to 9 children. I'm interested in that. But wait, there's levels 4, 5, and 6. Whereas this one, IBM makes next generation microchip, there's level 0, 1, 2, 3. So you can, okay, let me try level 2. You open it up, you read it. Oh, I understood that very easily. So go back. Okay, try level 3. Yeah, that was still too easy for me. Okay, so go back. Go to this article, level 4. You read it. Yeah, there were like 2 words I didn't know. Okay, so that might be a level for you. Okay, so that's what you got to understand is that when you're trying to improve your reading, you want to be at one level right above your understanding. Not too low, definitely not too high. So don't give in to the arguments of people when they say, oh, but they need to be reading at the level that native speakers of the language use. No, you don't. That's not how you learn. For fluency in particular, you want to actually find 100 words of something. If you can understand 95% of that, good. That's good for you. Okay, now you can start practicing fluency. Now, what do you mean by that? How do I practice fluency? Okay, so to practice fluency, what you can do is you can find a page, find a timer, and give yourself a minute. See how much you can read. Okay, start it again, and then read the same thing. And you'll see you got a little bit further. Do it again. Read it again. And you get a little bit further each time. That's how you can increase your speed, okay? But remember, it's not just about speed, okay? It's also about understanding. That's why I said 95% comprehension rate, okay? Another thing you can do is, and I highly recommend this, I think it's really fun, is calculate your word per minute rate. Okay, just information for you. I read somewhere that a college student reads at about 350 words per minute, 350 words at the college level, okay? So if you're studying in the United States or something like that, English is not your first language, you're learning it, you want to get up there too, okay? You want to get up to silently reading at 250, 350 words per minute in your head, okay? So find out where you're at, read something, okay? Give yourself 1 minute, read, and then count the words. How many words did you read in that 1 minute? Oh, 200. Oh, great. You read 200 words in 1 minute. However, you also need to count how many mistakes or errors you found, like words you didn't know, words you couldn't pronounce, where you had to stop. So maybe you had 5 of those, okay? So then you read at a word per minute rate of 195 words per minute. And you can increase that by practicing again and again, but I recommend trying that for different readings, different texts. And your goal really is to get up there at the higher rates. Now, if you're reading out loud, it's going to be much lower because you have to actually use your mouth to say the words, which slows you down. But you can do it reading out loud too. And that's a good thing to do so you can practice the stress, the rhythm, the intonation. What do I mean by that? So if you're reading out loud, you want to try to focus on the stress, the rhythm, and the intonation of the sounds of the language. In English, what we mean by stress is how long we hold a syllable for in a word and how loudly we say it, okay? So for example, the word antibacterial, you hear antibacterial, that's 6 syllables, okay? Where's the stressed one? That's the loud one and the one that I hold longer. Antibacterial, okay? It's that one. Now, how do you know that? I know that because I've been speaking English my whole life and I recognize that. I know that. If you're learning English, you won't know that. So that's why a good dictionary is great. Okay, you look up a word and you can see, it'll tell you where the stressed syllable is. You can even hear them now if you have like an app one. But also like watching movies, talking to people, you'll hear these words and you'll learn the stress patterns. Okay, so that's stress, knowing where to put the stress on a word. Okay, and sometimes there's more than one stress and things like that, but I'm not going to get into that. The second thing is rhythm. Okay, rhythm is like, you know, the music, the rhythm of the music. So when we're listening to English, it's the rhythm of the words and how it sounds, right? What that really means when we say that is how much time we dedicate per syllable in a word and in sentences and in chunks of words. If I say, I like to use antibacterial lotion, that's not English. We don't do that. We do not dedicate the same amount of time for each syllable. There are languages that do that, and Japanese is one, Spanish is one, okay, where each syllable has the same amount of time, okay? All right, whereas with English, we're not a syllable-timed language. We are a stress-timed language. What that means is the amount of time we give a syllable in a word is based off of whether it's stressed or not stressed. So, antibacterial, okay. All those 6 syllables in that word, I give them a different amount of time. Some are short, some are long. The one that's really long is the one that's stressed, okay? And actually the ones that are not stressed, we tend to, we say them quickly, we don't pronounce them clearly, and we a lot of times will say the vowel will sound like antibacterial, okay? So that's stress, that's rhythm. Now intonation. Intonation is like how high or low your voice goes, the pitch. For example, with questions, with yes, no questions, we always go up. Are you going to go to the party tonight? Right? Did you see him? Right? It goes up at the end. But if it's a statement, okay, no, I'm not going to go, goes down. Yeah, no, I didn't see him, goes down. Okay, so that's intonation. So that's it for you. If you want to focus on fluency, you want to think about making sure you're reading something you understand very well, that you can read 95% comprehension rate. 2, you want to practice. 3, you want to check your word per minute rate and get it up there for silent reading. Try to get it up there, but not focusing on speed only, okay? And then 4, you want to also think about stress, rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation of sounds, right? The sounds of letters and things like that. All this takes years, time, hours, thousands of hours, okay? So don't think, I can't do it. No, it takes a long time, but you need to practice. So I recommend read every single day. for 20 minutes at your level, one step above. Just read every single day. Read something you like. Just read. All right. Bye.